Man, it feels good to be making this type of video again and give you guys an update in 2024 about the PlayStation 5 Slim and the original PlayStation. I love these consoles. My most played console from 2023, 2024, 2025 and beyond. I absolutely love these consoles. I adore the designs, adore the futuristic elements of gameplay. Very excited for the rest of the year with PlayStation as well. I think it's going to be a great last leg of the year of 2024 and beyond to 2025. There's so much to look forward to with gaming. We've got a lot of games coming out very soon that I'm super excited about. This video is all about the PlayStation 5 Slim and the PlayStation 5 long-term honest review of both consoles. So performance-wise, it's been very similar with both consoles. I've mainly been sticking with my original PlayStation 5 because I love this PlayStation 5 cover. I love the limited edition Spider-Man look, as well as the DualSense controller. Along with playing Spider-Man, it's my favorite game of all time, so I've sort of just stuck with this design of the console because it is just my favorite PlayStation 5. All the storage from all my games and everything are already on here. You can transfer pretty easily through SSD storage, or you could transfer via internet, all sorts, but I just sort of stuck with the original PlayStation 5 because it has everything I already need on it. We don't need to buy more PlayStations just for the fun of it. You know, we need it to do what we want it to do, which is just have fun gaming, right? That was the whole premise of why I got a PlayStation 5 in the first place, was to play Spider-Man, play Astro's Playroom. You know, I was really blown away with these games, and then it sort of evolved into Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, to Returnal. Those were just absolutely amazing. And then all these other games have come out, like Spider-Man 2 has been really glorious in terms of a game. Overall, I love playing as Venom. And there's so many games to even look forward to now, and there's so many games even come out this year that I haven't even hit the forefront of on this channel. Is just so many games. It is just incredible, the gaming world. 2023 though, overall, was just such a massive year of gaming with Baldur's Gate, even Elden Ring as well. I think that was 2022 or 2023 that came out. Just two insane games that really just took over the channel and did super well as well. But there's also older games that I love to play on the PlayStation 5, such as Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I like to revisit these games. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, The Witcher 3 as well, like that's been a great game. Red Dead Redemption. So there's also a lot of older games that I love to play on this PlayStation as well, and both consoles will do the games absolute justice, especially from previous generation. You're gonna have a faster SSD time, you're gonna have a better load screen time performance. Overall, both are gonna be great. In terms of its performance overall, both are very similar, but the internal components have just been switched around quite a lot with the PlayStation 5 Slim, such as the fans and the placement of internal, such as the SSD and panels. Necessarily, the motherboard's going to be a little bit different with the PlayStation 5 Slim, but performance is pretty equal in terms of both consoles. I have heard something about fan noise with the PlayStation 5 Slim. From personal point of view, not using it that much with the PlayStation 5 Slim because I've mainly just been focusing on the original PlayStation 5 for just general gameplay. It's just been fantastic. The things that have slowed down the PlayStation 5 the most is just mainly using games from external SSDs. So like solid state drives that are a bit slower with internal read and write speeds. That's what really has slowed down the PlayStation 5. So I switched to internal storage and that solved the issue. So if you want the best storage for both consoles, internal storage is the way to go for internal best read and write speeds to be able to play games on and off of. Just going on a tangent there, but really it's been the best way to load games and have the best performance. Before, games were running really slow and I was like, why is this running so slow? And the main problem was that I was using external SSDs and it was a little bit slower. So that's why I recommend more internal SSDs and just using the actual gaming console storage. That's gonna have the fastest load times. So taking it all off there for games that you're actually using and just storing them on like internal or external SSDs, that's the best way to load games to get the best performance. That's where I've noticed the biggest downfall of load times with the original PlayStation 5, with the PlayStation 5 Slim. I'm sure it's gonna be the same, but that's just been the biggest performance issue in terms of everything altogether. In terms of long-term gameplay, the original PlayStation 5 has done everything I need it to do, and I've got this backup just in case. But it's done really well in terms of pulling out cables and all that stuff. It has had a few errors where I've had to rebuild the software and the database over and over again because I've accidentally pulled out a cable, for example. So just be wary of that type of stuff, making sure we're switching off the PlayStation 5 completely before actually reusing it, or turning it off completely before actually just plugging out a cable or your internal or external SSD, for example. So those are the biggest things. In terms of accessories, I feel like the original PlayStation 5, it wins because of the USB components that it has here. I just feel like it has more capabilities of using more first generation PlayStation accessories as well as last generation accessories because of the Type A and the Type C connection at the front. Of course, at both PlayStations, you're gonna have USB cables at the back. Cables for your controllers. If you have a racing wheel, for example, if you're playing a racing game, for example, you're gonna need an extra USB cable for that. If you're using a headset, for example. So having just that extra Type A was really useful for the front, but they took it out for the PlayStation 5 Slim. So that's been the biggest downside for the PlayStation 5 Slim in terms of its overall performance. But overall, it's been pretty good. I bought the stand with the PlayStation 5 Slim and I eventually sold that metallic stand because I found zero use for that metallic stand. Overall, in the long term, you already get a stand with the original PlayStation 5 and look, they stand up fine by themselves, as well as just getting the stand. And you also get stands inside the box. That is another thing that they changed, was obviously the look. So added these covers. They're like 85 bucks in Australia for the covers because I don't like the original design of the matte black finish and the shiny finish. I just didn't like it. If this one was a bit cheaper, then absolutely this would be the one to go for, but they sort of just stopped the original PlayStation 5 range and just went straight to the PlayStation 5 Slim, which is strange. But both are still secondhand worth the original price. Like both still go for like that $700 range in the exchange shops. I've sold a PlayStation 5 for about $400, and that's normally for pre-owned prices or trade-in prices as well. So just be wary about the pre-owned prices as well. It's still worth getting a pre-owned PlayStation 5 as long as it's taken care of and it is up to spec with everything. So pre-owned PlayStation 5s are still pretty good, and now's a great time to get yourself a pre-owned PlayStation 5 original console. It will fulfill most of your needs. It fulfills most of my needs in terms of gaming already. So it's been really good, and it has more ports for the accessories that I personally use, such as the Logitech G29 racing wheel. Have an extra port for that, or maybe I want to charge my cable really easy, just plug it into the front. Yeah, because the DualSense cable mainly comes with the Type A connection anyway, so you have to plug it into the back of the PlayStation 5 Slim to use it. So it really is kind of a disadvantage with all the accessories and everything that you get with the PlayStation 5. That's one thing to note. In terms of its size, I think the PlayStation 5 Slim is actually really good, and I like that they included that little insert in the middle as long as you cover the back plates with these stands. So they do come with stands. It comes with the stand as well, and similar to the original PlayStation 5 with how you put the stand on with everything, you just don't put the stand on the side. They include these two side panels where you put the PlayStation 5 inserts right there where you can sit on its side. In terms of dust, like, it's done pretty well. It does get pretty dusty overall. All PlayStations get pretty dusty, but I haven't seen anything too bad with the PlayStation 5 as long as you generally take care of it. And it's got a really nice build quality. It's quite robust overall, especially with these plates. I've never had a plate really break on me. I've had a plate like scratch, and I've had the internal component of the PlayStation 5 scratch as well by taking off these faceplates. So I feel like these faceplates are a little bit easier to take off. So that's definitely something positive with the PlayStation 5 Slim. Both pretty much work the exact same way. You get the exact same library. You get most of the exact same stuff with both consoles. There's just a few internal differences that I've noted already in this video. So like and subscribe to see more. Let me know your thoughts and feelings and ambitions for the PlayStation 5 as well for the future, and which one you go for.